Hey mamas, today we are talking about finding me time with a new baby. And this is something that is really difficult for every new mom, especially me. You completely lose yourself for a little while unless you know how not to. But it's even if you know how not to, it's so hard to not let yourself fall into that, because when you first have your baby, all of your energy and all of your brain is just hyper focused on, is my baby happy, fed, loved, safe? These are the only things that matter to you at this time. And so it's very easy to forget about yourself. And the reason we don't want to do this, the reason we still want to take care of ourselves, is because when we feel our best, we are the best mothers to our children that we can be. So this is what we're going to talk about today. And I actually created a whole signature course around this, mind, body, and soul, of getting back to yourself and how to prioritize yourself without sacrificing your baby's needs. You're still putting baby first. So we're going to get into that a little bit. I do have the link for my signature course in the description of this video if you want to hop into that and just fully immerse yourself in all of the things that I did to bring myself out of that. So first, when baby is napping, this is your time to maybe get chores done. I would highly suggest getting me time in for this. Whether it is resting, relaxing, watching a show that you want to watch uninterrupted, giving yourself a facial if that's what it is, whatever you need to do, whatever makes you feel taken care of and luxurious, like this is the time. Or if it's getting a shower in. That wasn't an option for me because the noise would wake up my baby. So showering while baby was sleeping, I had to do quiet things while baby was sleeping. And a lot of times I would be baby wearing when my baby was napping. And so obviously I can't hop in the shower when I'm baby wearing. I liked to have my baby in the wrap while he was napping because that made him feel safe and snuggly enough to stay sleeping longer. Next is feedings. Now, you do want to make sure that you're enjoying this bonding moment, whether you're nursing, breastfeeding, bottle feeding, whatever it is you're doing, however you're feeding your baby, this is a bonding experience. So don't take that for granted and soak that time in all that you can. You can also get to a point where if baby is like eating for a really long time, my baby would nurse for a really long time. I would nurse on one side, pump on the other at the very beginning to up my supply, and then I'd switch sides after 30 minutes. So like a feeding was a whole ordeal. So while I was doing this, I was watching Netflix, and this was just my way of connecting back to the person that I was before I became a mom by watching the shows that I loved to watch. And the next tip is to be flexible, because right now, as badly as you want your baby to be on a schedule, that's not necessarily the way it goes, especially with a newborn. So be open to the spontaneity. Don't get frustrated when the schedule isn't going your way. You will fit in your me time in the pockets of time that appear to you. This can either be while baby is napping or otherwise occupied, whether like with a toy, or if you have a loved one over and that loved one is giving baby some attention while you can go tend to some of your own personal needs for a little bit. And that brings me to ask for help, whether it's your partner or a family member or a friend or your doula. This is a really hard thing to do by yourself, so asking for help is going to make it so much easier, and it really does take a village. Next is doing things that include your baby. So I know for me personally, if my baby was fussing a lot, all I had to do was put him in the stroller and go for a walk outside, and not a peep came out of him. He loved being outside. And this is great for your postpartum recovery as well, because the walking is really great for your pelvic floor and it's exercise. So that's good anytime. And being outside with the fresh air, it's just all good things there. And the other thing that I highly recommend and I would love to do is I got an oversized playpen and putting baby in there and doing yoga for 5 minutes at a time, 10 minutes if you're lucky. So that way baby is still nearby and you're getting in that self-care, because momming is hard on the body. So that yoga for neck and shoulders and all that stuff, so wonderful. And in my Facebook group, I have a whole list of all of my favorite yoga videos. So you can hop into my group and see everything that I love and recommend. And next is hobbies. This is a really great way of connecting back to the person you were before you became a mom. So what are the hobbies that you had before that, before baby came? And ease yourself back into that. Don't let it completely lead your life. You're not going to have as much time as you had to dedicate to it before. That doesn't mean that you have to completely give it up. So even if it's just 15, maybe start with 5 minutes a day and then work up to 15. Do what you can to incorporate that in your life. And remember, as your baby gets older, the schedule becomes more predictable and your pockets of time become easier to come by. So it is going to get easier and you can do this. Taking care of yourself is not a luxury, it is a necessity. In order to be the best mom you can be for your baby, taking care of yourself is a priority. And by being the best version of you, you can be the best mom and you can create the best childhood for your baby. So this is not a selfish thing. And if you want me to take you along step by step to get you out of these feelings of completely losing yourself in motherhood and just feeling gross, this is my online course, Thriving Mama Blueprint. So this is step by step how I pulled myself out of these feelings and was able to prioritize my self-care while keeping my baby first. So that is on sale right now. I highly suggest you jump into that. Remember that you can do this and it gets easier, and I will see you next time.